Good morning, students. Hope you are all doing good. Today we will start with Act 3, Scene 2 of The Tempest. Before starting with the scene, I would give a short summary and introduction to the scene. The romantic scene of love between Ferdinand and Miranda is now followed by a comic scene in which the people concerned are Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. In this scene, we pick up threads of the subplot which was initiated in Act 2, Scene 2, in which Caliban had become acquainted with Stefano and Trinculo, and in which he had expressed his readiness to become Stefano's slave in return for the intoxicating liquor which Stefano had given him. In the present scene, a new development takes place. Caliban here suggests that Stefano should put to death his master Prospero, that is, Stefano should put Prospero to death in case Stefano wants to become the king of this island. Stefano agrees to Caliban's suggestion, and Ariel plays a musical tune without being seen to these fellows, and the consequence of it is that Stefano feels somewhat frightened. Caliban assures him that there is nothing to be afraid of, and this island is full of noises, sounds, and sweet musical tunes, which give delight and do not hurt. This plot that Caliban is trying to hatch against Prospero's life reminds us of Antonio's plot against Alonso's life. And just as Sebastian had agreed to Antonio's suggestion that Alonso should be murdered in his sleep, so Stefano also agrees to Caliban's suggestion that Prospero should be murdered in his sleep. Thus, here we have an example of what is known as parallelism. The object of parallelism is to reinforce the effect of which the two kind of happenings. The character of Caliban is further developed in this scene. Caliban shows himself to be a very revengeful creature who would like to have his master Prospero killed by someone who seems to him to be capable of killing such a powerful man as Prospero. Caliban describes Prospero as a tyrant and a sorcerer, that is, a magician, who by cunning had cheated him of his island. In other words, Caliban claims that he was the original inhabitant and the ruler of this island, and that he had been displaced from his position by Prospero, who wields magical powers and who is also a despot, that is, an autocrat, a tyrant. Furthermore, Caliban shows himself to be a very shrewd fellow who is capable of devising a project for assassination of his master. It is he who actually plans out or lays out the entire plan of how to go about killing Prospero. He plans, he makes the complete sketch of a plan before Stefano about how to take up this plan of killing Prospero, how to succeed in this plan. The entire plan is laid out by Caliban himself. Caliban calls Prospero cunning, but actually Caliban shows himself to be the master of cunning. He urges Stefano first to seize Prospero's books and only then put him to death, because Prospero's possession of his magical books make him all powerful, and because Prospero can be rendered powerless only if he is first deprived of his books. Secondly, Caliban suggests that Stefano should murder Prospero when Prospero lies asleep in his cell. And this is not all. Caliban attempts to even tempt Stefano by describing to him the beauty of Miranda, whom Stefano should be able to marry only after murdering Prospero. And children, here you realize how cunning Caliban is. He knows why would Stefano go ahead and help him in his plan. There is nothing that will tempt Stefano to help Caliban. Therefore, he is trying to tempt him by this greed, number one, of becoming the owner of this island after killing Prospero. And second, tempts him by describing the beauty of Miranda, whom he would be able to marry and make his wife the queen of this island after killing Prospero. So, by describing Miranda's beauty and tempting Stefano of getting the power to rule this island and making Miranda his wife, he knows he'll be able to make Stefano take his revenge upon Prospero. All the three men have been drinking heavily and can probably barely stand. Stefano, in his state of intoxication, really begins to think of himself as the would-be king of this island, and he takes it upon himself to put Prospero to death without having ever seen him, or without having the least notion of that man's power. And Caliban's description of the beauty of Prospero's daughter further increased Stefano's ambition, and he asks if Prospero's daughter was really so beautiful. He then says that he would certainly kill Prospero and that Prospero's daughter would become his queen. Stefano even appoints Trinculo and Caliban as his would-be viceroys of the island. And some of the comedy of this scene is also provided by Ariel, who, invisible, makes certain remarks in the course of the conversation of the three men, so as to confuse them and cause a quarrel among them. For instance, when Caliban says that Prospero is a tyrant and a magician who by his cunning had deprived him of this island, Ariel invisibly says, "Thou liest." Now Caliban thinks that these words have been spoken by Trinculo, while actually these words were spoken by Ariel, who was invisible. Caliban therefore becomes very furious with Trinculo, and Stefano also warns Trinculo against insulting Caliban. So he creates a sort of a misunderstanding by staying there, being invisible and speaking in between. And Trinculo bears the brunt of all that, because Stefano and Caliban always think that it is Trinculo who is interrupting their talk in between, and therefore he also threatens to beat up Trinculo if he continues to interrupt their talk like this. So all this misunderstanding is actually created by Ariel, while Trinculo stands there confused, thinking that he has not been speaking at all. The three drunken characters provide a comic parody of one of the main themes of the play, and that is the usurpation, that is, the overthrow of a rightful ruler. Stefano tries to behave like a king and demands that his subjects obey him. He even threatens to hang Trinculo if he mutinies, that is, rebels against Stefano. Caliban's plot to overthrow Prospero is a comic reflection of the way in which Antonio seized the throne of Milan from Prospero, and of the conspiracy of Antonio and Sebastian to kill Alonso. Even Ariel gets Trinculo into trouble by imitating his voice. And before we begin with a line-by-line explanation of the scene, I would show you a little clip to make you understand the scene better.
Sword is free, sword is free. is free!
Thought is free! Thought is free!
They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If t'other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, Seven Monster, when I bid thee. When the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Oh, thy eyes are almost set in my head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
The poor monster is my subject. He shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again unto the suit I made to thee?
Very will I kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou. I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
You interrupt my monstrous tale, and by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Mum, then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this island. From me he got it. If thy greatness will revenge it upon him, thou shalt be lord of it, and I will serve thee.
Well, how now can this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pine is this, a scurvy patch. I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle from him.
Trinculo, interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll make a stockfish of thee.
What did I? I did nothing.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Oh, why so? Take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
Beat him enough. After a little while, I'll beat him too.
Stand further off. Here. Forward with your tale.
As I said, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a non-parai. I never saw a woman but only Sycorax, my dam, and she. But she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as greats doth least.
Is it so brave, lass?
Yea, yea, she will become thy bed, I warrant thee, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
I am sorry I beat thee. Give me thy hand. But whilst thou lives, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch you taught me but while
Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Floutum and scoutum and floutum and scoutum and scoutum and scoutum. Floutum and scoutum and scoutum and scoutum and floutum and scoutum and scoutum and scoutum and scoutum.
God is free.
God is free.
What is it saying?
This is the tune of our catch, sung by the picture of nobody. Oh, forgive me my sin.
Mercy upon us.
Art thou feared?
No, monster, not I.
Do not be afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that if I then had waked after long sleep would make me sleep again. And then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked I cried to dream again.
Well, this will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
And Prospero is destroyed. Within this half hour will he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
On mine honor will come.
I'll follow Stefano.